Hey, welcome to Sign New at JW. This is the Sign New number 26, Obsession. We are all obsessed with something. No one can say that they are not obsessed with something. And that goes from things such as social media, where they cannot get enough of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whether it's themselves posting on stuff or viewing it or following someone, to cars where they buy them, sell them, work on them, trade them, to shoes. I know individuals that just buy shoes and then hold on to them and collect them. They don't do anything with them. They don't ever put them on their feet, which I think is weird because they're shoes, but whatever. To gamers that game and do videos on them and stay up for 24 hours straight. To sports, watching them, playing them, betting on them, which gets you into gambling, which gets you into obsession with money. Then to negative obsessions such as drinking in excess and drugs that are illegal, obviously. Now, we all have those obsessions, and we all have a drug of choice when it comes to those obsessions, for the simple fact that it makes us feel good. We love the way it makes us feel. It's a natural high, or in some cases an unnatural high, and we enjoy that. We love that. But the thing is, with that, we have to go ahead and figure out what we need to do to ensure that we have the least amount of negative obsessions in our life and the most amount of positive obsessions in our life. So if you take out any negative obsession in your life, you have to go ahead and replace it with a positive. Because when you take it away, it leaves a void. And you have to fill that void with something. And if you don't fill that void, it's probably going to just get filled up with a negative obsession that you just got rid of. So even if that negative is all the way to the extreme of drugs, there's ways to get rid of being addicted or obsessed with drugs. And weaning yourself off of them, going through some type of program, whatever it is. I would never say, just cold turkey it, because that's not the reality for a lot of individuals. They just cannot do that. But you have to go ahead and fill that void with a positive. So what are the positives that you want in your life? What obsessions do you want there? Because really the obsession that you need to have in life is the lifestyle that only allows for positive obsessions in it. So let's take the one that, the social media. If you are obsessed with social media, I know a lot of individuals that are obsessed with it, just can't get enough of it, and it is doing something for you that is getting you closer to your success, then keep it up. Nobody's saying stop, or at least I'm not saying stop it. I know that probably other individuals that are close to you are like, oh, get off of social media. However, if that is what's getting you closer to success, you're not wasting your time on it. You're not doing it for no reason. You're not just on there to be on there. However, you do know, just like others, that there are individuals that are on social media just to be on it. They follow, other people that are successful, and then, oh, I wish that I was that person, or I wish I was that guy or gal. Well, get the hell off of social media and start doing it. Or take that, love for social media and turn it into something that, will create some type of success for you, and then you stop living through someone else vicariously. Now, with that, there are those individuals, like I said, that are obsessed with certain things that are negative, and they need to get rid of it. Because if it's not getting you any closer to your success, you need to go ahead and get rid of it, then replace it with something good. And it's really that lifestyle that you have to change. So one of my obsessions was, and it might sound weird, but for those that know me, soda. I consumed an ungodly amount of Pepsi on a day-to-day basis over probably the last, I'd say, 10 to 12 years. Now, I was obsessed. I literally, I don't smoke. I quit drinking a couple years ago, but I didn't have that negative obsession. And however, or at least I didn't think. And in reality, that much caffeine into my body and consuming that much, the calories and all the different sugars and stuff that's in there, even though I enjoy them, was still bad for me. And I didn't realize health-wise that there are things that could happen to me later on in life that, could be contributed to the amount of Pepsi that I drank as a younger individual. Where I've taken that obsession that I had and I've slowly but surely weaned myself off of it, where I went from an average of 6 to 8 a day to an average of maybe 2 a day. And my goal, in the future is to get rid of soda consumption on a regular basis, where it'll just be irregular every once in a blue moon type thing. But the reality is I understood that I couldn't just get rid of it altogether at once. I was getting really bad caffeine headaches, and then I was replacing the caffeine with something else that had caffeine in it, and it wasn't doing me any good. So I had to go ahead and replace it. That void was there. So I took and I replaced it with a diet that I am now on, where I consume like a health shake in the morning and in the afternoon to replace the nutrients and the different things that I wasn't getting in soda, and I'm now getting. That is what replaced it. So it wasn't the same exact thing, but I figured out, okay, well, now I have to go ahead, I have to become obsessed with that. So therefore, my obsession with soda will decrease in some ways. And it's worked. So far, it's worked because, I have these 2 shakes in the morning, and it's usually for every day throughout Monday through Friday for sure. And along with that, diet and exercise. So when I introduced more exercise into my life, and although the profession that I'm in, we exercise regularly, I kind of had to introduce a little bit more to take my mind off of it. I didn't like drinking a lot of water, and I realized through the exercise, well, guess what you have to do? You have to drink water. So I was able to replace that negative consumption of soda with some type of positive diet and exercise. That has worked out for me. And now it's going to be different for every individual. Every one of you might have a negative obsession that you have to go ahead and get rid of, and you have to wean yourself off of and replace it with a positive obsession. That's fine. That's understandable. But you have to go ahead and become obsessed with what you are replacing it with. So if it's just kind of, I'm going to try this and see how it works. No, like you have to take that on as your own. Just like, let's say if I was obsessed with my future success being a teacher, and I had just graduated high school, I have to become obsessed with the process. I have to become obsessed with the knowledge, the higher education, all of the different things to get me to where my future is. And then once I become a teacher, I have to be obsessed with that. Because if at any time I lose the obsession and it's no longer what I love, I have to go ahead and figure out, well, should I continue? Do I find myself again? Or do I go ahead and replace it with something else? So through that lifestyle, you're going to go ahead and ensure that your obsessions are proper, they're positive, and they're not negative in all those different ways. Because the only way to get to success is through that lifestyle of obsession, in ensuring that you are successful. If you're not obsessed with becoming successful, or once you get to success, you're not obsessed with staying successful, there's going to be problems. We see it all the time. Famous musicians or actors or well-known individuals around the world, they finally have gotten to where they wanted to be, and the path that got them there they kind of forget about, and all of those positive obsessions that they had to get them there now have kind of turned into, well, I'm here, and then they introduce negative obsessions into their life. And we see that all the time, and it doesn't really work out very well for them. So once you change that lifestyle and you become obsessed with it, just understand that even when you get to where you want to be, you have to continue with it. But really understanding that you have to be obsessed at all times, positive obsessions, not negative ones. And if you take negative ones out of your life, you have to go ahead and return those and replace those with positive obsessions. So until my next video, thanks for watching. Decide New number 26, Obsession.